T, or Transforming Enterprise Applications, is a product suite that is a process of extending your current business applications to be modernized in a new web page design. We recognize the time, experience, and business logic that exists in an organization's existing application and leverage our integration tool set to extend and blend those seamlessly with very little effort. There are 3 videos that will step through the design of a new graphical user interface. This first video will show the developer how to map the foundation of an existing application. The application used to be redesigned is Microsoft's Calculator, or calc.exe. It is important to note that we are not rewriting the Calculator program, but rather building a new graphical user interface. The calc.exe program will be launched by T in a virtual state, and the new T user interface will interact with the calc.exe program.
In this video, we're going to show you how to create a new project using the T132 editor. Here I've got 2 windows, my editor, which is pretty much blank because we're starting a brand new project, and Windows Calculator, which is the application that we wish to transform in this demonstration using the T engine. Creating a project is fairly simple. You mainly use the Finder tool, which is this graphic with the circle in it, and your mouse. You left click the circle and drag it to a control that you want to map in your application. When I release the button, you'll see that the control is added to the list box in the editor's window. There are a couple things that you need to know about the information up here. The first time a control is added, the editor creates what we call a class definition for this application. It determines the title of the application, in this case Calculator. We can edit the title if necessary. This is sometimes necessary if the application changes its title, such as Windows Notepad, which lists the document name in the title bar, and that can change with each document. So to keep things consistent, you might want to remove the document from the window title. It also determines the default class name for the application. We'll be using this class in a future video. It lists the executable name for the application so that we can launch it from our class, and it includes any command line parameters that were included when the application was run. Some applications require specific command line parameters, and these would be accessible to the class through this command line option. Underneath the class definition, we have the controls that are mapped to that class. Here I've got button 1, which is the control name for this symbol over on the calculator, and the control type, which is a push button, and an area for comments. I can use this area to add comments about the control that will be included in my class definition file. This is a button for number 1. To map the rest of the application, we repeat the same procedure. We grab the Finder tool, drag it to the control that we want, and release. You don't have to do every control in the application, only the ones that you're interested in for your project. I've got all the numbers. Now some controls, for example the divide control here, the window title, which is the / is not a valid character or symbol for a variable name in our class. In this case, we'll want to edit that and add something more meaningful. We'll call it button divide. And we can do the same thing for the equal sign. And then we'll add more. This is, notice how it's now an edit control, and the control name begins with TXT for a text box. And we'll call this text result. And we'll do one more and multiply. And do the minus. So as you can see, all the controls that we've mapped using the mouse are listed underneath our application class. We're not limited to mapping one application per project. I could, for example, start up Windows Notepad. Let me slide this over and map that one as well. Here we've got, remember I talked about the title changing according to the document. So in this case, we want to get rid of untitled and text. Windows Notepad only has one control, and that's the text box. So we'll just call that text in. So now our project is, for this demonstration, complete. I've mapped two applications, Windows Calculator and Windows Notepad, and I want to now save those. So I click the Save button, and it will prompt me for a project file. In this case, I'm going to rename this to Calculator. And project files by default end with a .TEA, T extension, and a project path, and this is where it will place the class files for our project. And I'll just leave this as tdemo. I click the OK button, and a little reminder comes up to say, please include these classes. These are the classes that were just generated into our project. And we'll show you that in the next video.